So inflation is definitely a big deal where $1 today is worth 25 cents less than what it was worth 6 years ago. And because of that, a lot of brands have had to raise their prices. But at the same time, some brands are trying to be sneaky by lowering the portion size, hoping consumers won't notice. And that's exactly what's happening to this product right here, the Oreo, where they sell 60 billion of these every year. But a lot of people are saying they suck now. Starting this all off, we had to go back in time to 14,000 BC because that was the origins of baking, which began in Israel, where barley and wheat was so abundant. So because of that, they used that for baking. And the first things ever baked were flatbreads. It wasn't until 12,000 years later where the Egyptians realized they can add sweeteners to the bread as well as other materials, and that created what we now call cake. Because of cake, we get cookies, where in 600 AD, what's now known as Iran created the first cookie where they originally just trying to make smaller things to test cake, but then they realized it was a much better way to portion things, and also it came out crispier so people liked it. There's another 1500 years that go by and cookies are now popular all over the world, but one thing no cookie had in it was chocolate. And the reason was because cocoa beans were only really found in South America and they were extremely hard to transport, so nobody had the idea of putting cookies in chocolate. That all changed in the 1800s with the invention of the steamboat, because at that point we're able to get cocoa beans from South America to North America in under 5 days and able to get them from North America to Europe in under 2 weeks. So it's a massive innovation, making chocolate more available. That a lot of the chocolate products we take for granted today weren't actually created until more recently in history, like the brownie, which was made in 1893 by Bertha Palmer. And the reason she created it was actually as this feminist statement saying women are going to need to work and they need something to keep sugar to keep them energized. Chocolate chip cookie, which wasn't created until 1938 by Ruth Wakefield, who had the idea for the recipe because she wanted something to make ice cream sandwiches from. But because of that, the product we look at today and say is most similar to the Oreo would be the Hydrox cookie, which was created by the Sunshine Biscuit Company in 1908. A lot of people say Oreo is a ripoff, but at the end of the day, Hydrox was just a recreation of the British cream sandwich cookie, which was popular for hundreds of years, but they put chocolate in it. 4 years after the Hydrox launches, the National Biscuit Company, aka Nabisco, releases this cookie called the Oreo. And the reason it was able to beat out the Hydrox is it tasted a little bit better, where it dissolved in milk much easier and was easier to swallow. And then also at the same time, a lot of people just liked the name more, where they found the Hydrox sounded way too chemical-like. The history of how the Oreo started and became the most popular cookie on the planet, but now people are complaining saying Oreos are not what they used to be, where because of inflation, they've made the cream a lot smaller in them and people are really upset about it. Everybody's blaming inflation. That's not actually the real reason, because even though the cream is a little bit more expensive than the cookies ingredient-wise, it's a lot cheaper with the amount of labor factored in going to the cookies versus the cream. But the real reason is just because they don't want people to actually buy Oreos anymore. The reason was because they introduced the double stuffed Oreo in 1976 and then the triple stuffed in 2011 and the most stuffed in 2019. And the reason why they want people to buy these is they charge more for them, even though the ingredients are barely any more money. But because they can charge 25–35% more, people are buying them. What Bisco's likely doing here is playing a little bit of a trick on customers, where the goal is they want the Oreo to seem smaller and thinner, so people will buy the double stuff, triple stuff, or most stuff, which they have this higher perception of, so they'll pay more for. That's a complete and total ripoff. Is better off homemade anyway. And with that, I'm Charles Pearl. Please subscribe, learn something.